There's a moment in every man's life when you realize you've lost more than you thought you could survive losing. For me, that moment came on a Tuesday afternoon in November, sitting in an empty apartment with divorce papers on the kitchen counter and a half-empty bottle of cheap bourbon I didn't even like. Everything I'd built for 15 years was gone. The house, the marriage, the life I thought was solid. And all I had left was a 2006 Ford Mustang GT sitting in the parking garage downstairs. Dark blue, V8, manual transmission, 126,000 miles. It wasn't worth much. Maybe 12, 13 grand if I was lucky. But it was mine. And for the next 6 months, that car became the only thing standing between me and completely giving up. This is that story. My name is Jake. I'm 38 years old. And 6 months ago, my wife of 12 years told me she wanted a divorce. No affair. No big fight. She just said she wasn't happy anymore, and that we'd grown apart. I moved out 3 weeks later. Found a one-bedroom apartment in a decent part of town. Not great, not terrible. The kind of place guys live when they're starting over and pretending they're okay. I took the couch, the TV, some clothes, the Mustang. She got the house, the furniture, the dog, most of our friends, apparently. That first month was brutal. I'd come home from work to an apartment that echoed. I'd eat dinner standing at the counter because I hadn't bought a table yet. I'd fall asleep on the couch watching SportsCenter with the volume too loud because silence felt worse. My buddy Ryan called a few times. "Hey man, let's grab a beer. You doing okay? We should hit the gym." I appreciated it. I did. But eventually, people move on. They have their own lives, their own families. And you're just the guy who got divorced. The only constant was the Mustang. I bought it 8 years ago. Used. My dad had a '69 Mach 1 when I was a kid, same color, different generation, and I'd always wanted one. When I finally had the money saved up, I didn't even tell my wife until after I bought it. She wasn't thrilled. Called it a midlife crisis car. Maybe it was. I didn't care. That car was the first thing in years that felt like mine. Not ours. Not a compromise. Mine. And now, sitting in that empty apartment, it was literally the only thing left that felt like me. But here's the thing about rock bottom. It's expensive. Rent, utilities, lawyer fees, splitting assets. The Mustang needed new tires. The check engine light came on. Insurance went up when I changed my address. I was hemorrhaging money, and everyone had the same advice. Sell the Mustang. My brother, "Dude, you're almost 40. Get a practical car." My coworker, "That thing's a money pit. Cut your losses." Even Ryan, "Look, I get it. But you need to be smart right now." They were right. Logically, they were 100% right. But every time I walked down to that parking garage and saw it sitting there, I couldn't do it. By month 3, I was seriously considering it. I listed it on Craigslist, took pictures, wrote up a description, set the price at $12,500. Got a few messages. Lowball offers mostly. One guy offered $9,000 cash as is. I didn't respond. Then one Saturday, a kid, maybe 22, 23, showed up to test drive it. He pulled up in a new Camaro, walked over like he was doing me a favor. "So this is it, huh?" He circled the car. Paint's faded. Interior's worn. "What's the mileage?" 126,000. He whistled. "That's rough, man." I was thinking more like 8 grand. Something in me snapped. "It's not for sale," I said. "What? You literally posted it online." Changed my mind. "Have a good day." He looked at me like I was insane. Maybe I was. But watching that kid dismiss my car, dismiss something I'd worked for, cared for, held on to through the worst months of my life, it made me realize something. I wasn't selling it because I needed to. I was selling it because I was giving up. And I wasn't ready to do that. Not yet. A week later, I was having a bad day. Work sucked. My ex had texted asking about some old mail that came to the house. I'd eaten gas station food for dinner because I couldn't be bothered to cook. Around 10 p.m., I walked down to the garage. I didn't plan to go anywhere. I just needed to sit in it. I got in, closed the door, adjusted the mirrors like I was going somewhere even though I wasn't. And then I started it. That sound. God, that sound. The V8 rumbled to life. Deep, guttural, alive. I sat there for a minute, just listening. Then I put it in gear and drove. No destination, just driving. I got on the highway, rolled the windows down even though it was cold. Turned the radio off. Just me and the road and that engine. I drove for 2 hours. Out past the suburbs. Into farm country where the only lights were stars and the occasional porch. And somewhere around midnight, on an empty back road with nothing but fields on either side, I pulled over, got out, leaned against the hood, looked at that car. It wasn't new. It wasn't perfect. It had scratches and dings, and the passenger seat had a coffee stain I'd never gotten out. But it was still mine. And I realized this car had been there through everything. Through the good years. Through the fights. Through the separation. Through every lonely night in that empty apartment. It didn't judge me. Didn't pity me. Didn't tell me to move on or get over it. It just was. And as long as I could still get in it, turn the key, and hear that engine fire up, I wasn't done yet. I deleted the Craigslist post that night. Stopped talking about selling it. Stopped justifying keeping it. Instead, I started taking care of it again. Fixed the check engine light. Got those new tires. Detailed the interior for the first time in months. It wasn't about the car being worth more. It was about caring about something again. And slowly, things started to shift. I started cooking actual meals instead of ordering takeout. Bought a table and chairs for the apartment. Joined a gym. Not because I wanted to meet people. Just because I needed to do something. Started answering when Ryan called. The divorce finalized. It hurt. But I signed the papers and moved forward. I'm not going to pretend everything's perfect now. It's not. I still have bad days. I still wake up in that apartment and feel the weight of starting over at 38. But I don't feel stuck anymore. And I think the Mustang had something to do with that. Not because it's a magical car. Not because it solved my problems. But because it was the one thing I refused to let go of when it would have been easier to just give up. Last weekend, I woke up at 5 a.m. Couldn't sleep. Didn't feel like lying there staring at the ceiling. So I got dressed, grabbed my keys, and went downstairs. The parking garage was quiet. Cold. My breath fogged in the air. I got in the Mustang. Started it. Let it warm up while I sat there in the dark. Then I drove. East, toward the sunrise. Windows down. No music. Just the sound of the engine and the wind and the road under the tires. By the time the sun came up, I was 30 miles outside the city. The sky was pink and orange and gold, and the road stretched out empty in front of me. I pulled over at a rest stop. Got out. Leaned against the hood. And I thought about everything I'd lost. The marriage. The house. The life I thought I'd have. But I also thought about what I still had. My health. My job. A roof over my head. And this car. This stupid, imperfect, 126,000-mile car that probably wasn't worth keeping from a financial standpoint. But it was mine. And as long as I could still get in it and drive, I wasn't finished. Not by a long shot. I got back in. Started it up. Pulled back onto the road. The engine roared to life. And I smiled. Because maybe I'd lost almost everything. But I still had this. And that was enough. They say you can't hold on to the past. That you have to let go to move forward. And maybe that's true. But some things aren't about the past. They're about remembering who you are when everything else gets stripped away. For me, that was a 2006 Mustang GT, dark blue, V8, manual transmission, 126,000 miles and counting. And I'm never selling it.